Okay, how's it going, guys? Texas TK here. I'm going to go over a few things. I'm a new player. 3.5 just came out. There's a lot of new players coming over, especially Diablo players who are disappointed with the announcement from Blizzard that they're not doing a Diablo 4 instead they're doing a mobile game. So, a lot of the new players go and look for guides on like the Atlas, things like that, and they find guides. However, most of those players have been playing the game a long time and they talk and explain to you as though you've been playing for quite a while. So, I'm taking a fresh approach and I'm going to explain it as a new player myself. So, today we're going to go over the Atlas, we're going to talk about shaping the Atlas, and we're going to talk about map sustain because buying maps, as you may have already encountered, is a big hassle. A lot of people don't want to sell them. It may take you 20 minutes to find a map you're looking for. So let's jump into it. Let's take a look at my atlas here. Okay, now, two key things to look at. Right here, you have a completed bonus objective. Each time you complete a bonus objective, you get a 1% chance to drop a one tier map higher. So, what does that mean for you, and how do you complete these bonuses? So, when you start out, you're fresh level 70, you just get your map device, you're wondering, okay, what do I do now? You probably have gotten a few level 1 map drops and stuff like that on your way. So, you start out your tier 1 maps. So, when you do this map, as you can see here, it says bonus, kill a boss of magic or higher version of this map. So you either want to roll an alchemy shard or an alchemy orb on it to make it rare, or you want to roll an augmentation to make it magic and kill the boss. That will give you a 1% chance increase. And you want to go through and you want to do all the tier 1s, all your tier 2s, all your tier 3s. Now, this is something I didn't know either. If you're searching for tier maps, what you want to type in is tier colon and then X being the number of map or the tier of map you're looking for. So, if we're looking for tier 1s, we type in 1 and it's going to highlight all of the tier 1 maps for you. So you know which maps you need to do. Okay, simple enough, right? So, moving along, now you know that this area here is Elder influenced. And if you look at a screenshot of a lot of high-end players, high in-game players, they have this whole area moved down over here because they want this to be Shaper influenced, and this is how you're going to kill an Uber Elder, or they want this Elder influence. This is how you're going to get an Uber Elder or something like that. You want that area here. So how do we get this to move the way we want it to move and sustain maps at the same time? Well, this is what I've recently figured out. Is prior to making this video, I had this area here was covering up to here, right here at Orchard Map, Tier 8. So, anytime you want to get any particular map, say you're back here at the lower area, you're running Dungeon Map, Tier 2. You want to get Shipyard Map, right? Instead of buying that map, every map in here has a chance to drop a tier higher map that is adjacent to it. So Dungeon Map can drop Shipyard Map, correct? Now the way that works is based on your chance here, and also Magic Monsters have a chance to drop a map of one tier higher. Magic and Rare Monsters, one tier higher. Unique bosses or enemies have a chance to drop two tiers higher. And now these tiers don't necessarily have to be adjacent. They could be, this tier 2 dungeon map can drop a tier 2 over here or a tier 3 over here somewhere. Okay, so how do we get this moving over here? What I did, the strategy I used, is like I said before, I had it to orchard map. So I went in my inventory, I went to my map tab, and I wanted to see how many orchards I had. I had several. So I started running the orchard map over and over and over because it was adjacent to this area. This area was actually shrunken down where orchard wasn't elder influenced. So I ran the orchard map over and over and over. And with my bonus here, what started to happen was waste pool maps started dropping. Tier 9. Well, waste pool map is here. So what happened was once this started to happen, my elder influenced area moved, right, down here to waste pool. And now shaper influenced is spider forest. So now, once I start running these waste pool maps, I'm going to have a chance to drop either a pier map at tier 10 or a spider forest map. And what that's going to do is once I run those, this will grow again and move and start covering these areas. And once I have enough of these maps, and I've ran these maps enough, then we're looking at the factory map. We're going to start dropping factory maps. So it's very important to get this bonus as high as you can, as quick as you can. You see, even myself, I didn't realize this until just recently. I need to go back and do like all of my tier 2s, all of my tier 3s, all of my tier 4s because I want this bonus to be higher than 70%, right? I want this chance to be higher. So that's something I need to work on myself. My character is pretty much, it's very in-game ready. I mean, I don't know that it's Uber Elder or Shaper ready. I don't think so, not yet. But it's time I start thinking about moving this and shaping my Atlas the way I want if I want to do those boss fights. At least get to these Guardians and such. So this is how I'm going about sustaining the map. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about is, while you're doing this, how do you increase your odds of getting these map drops? Well, there's a couple ways. When we roll one of these guys, and it's rare, right? So you have item quantity increase, right? Item quantity increase is your best chance at the more items that drop, the better. Well, you can also roll a sextant on one of these areas. If you know you're going to be running this area, we're going to run waste pool map 10 times so that we can try to get spider forest map. Drop a sextant on it, and then also you can take these sacrifice fragments here that I'm sure you've picked up, you've made, even thrown away, and if you have, no big deal. The Her Mask card, divination card, will give you fragments. They drop all the time. So keep those, trade them in, get yourself some fragments. What these do is each one of these you throw in with your map will basically give you 15% increased quantity. So when you're doing a map, say we're going to do a waste pool. We would come over here, drop in our waste pool, and then we would drop in the fragments with it. You drop in those fragments, that increases the quantity, and ups your chances of finding higher tier maps. Now, what else can we do? What else can we do to find those maps that you may not have, other than buying them from another player? Well, Xana sells maps.
Glad you made it back.
You'll notice right now that she has no maps for me. And the reason she has no maps for me is because I have this quest line here
be merciful.
of complete any Elder Influence Tier 9 map. So that's like her objective for me. Once I do that quest and complete that quest for her, she will spawn a new set of maps in her inventory. I suggest you buy those every time you get them. and that will keep you going. That will sustain your maps. I think this is the simplest way to explain it. And remember, do not go off of someone else's atlas, especially for shaping. It's always going to look different for someone else. And just screenshotting a high end player's atlas with this over here, or them showing you that over here, isn't going to help you understand how to move it. So, again, how do we move this area? We do maps adjacent to it. So, if I wanted this to start moving down this way, I would want to run this map here, Val Pyramid. I would want to start moving it this way. And then after Val Pyramid, obviously Ghetto, or I could go Canyon, then Ghetto. You get the gist. You move it that way. You don't do maps within it, you do maps adjacent to it. If you do too many maps in it, what it does is it will start to shrink. So you want that area to move over. And I hope I've been as clear as possible and I've been helpful, because I know me as a new player coming in, this seemed way overwhelming. So if you liked the video, please drop a like, hit a subscribe. You can follow me on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitch. I'll drop the Twitch in. I'll drop the Twitch in the description. I stream pretty much every day. That way, you could come in, ask questions. We can learn together. I mean, if you have any advice or anything for me, feel free to comment. I appreciate it. And that'll be all for today. Tomorrow, I will be bringing out a new video where I'm going to touch up a little bit on the skill tree. And we're going to go into some of this too, and how to upgrade this. So that will be on the agenda for tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. As always, have a great day. Follow, subscribe, hit that like button.